What's up, guys? This is StunnedGopher here today. Thought I'd show you guys a clip of myself out working in the oil patch. So what I do here, as you can see at the front end, is the Peterbilt. Yeah, I'm out here on a lease. I haul water to fracs, so we'll turn around here a little bit. Here you can see the drilling rig in the background for a second there. So like these are your 1,000-barrel tanks or a 750 tank here. We get a whack load of them stacked together, kind of like that row there, but that's actually a producing well. And then all we do is we fill up a whole bunch of tanks full of water, and once they're full of fluid, then pretty much after that point the frac comes in and they start fracking. Well, they also do a lot more than just fracking. They haul their sand and they get a whole bunch of other jobs done. But for my job, what I actually do, all I do is I haul water, like fresh water. So either from tanks, different freshwater points, and as you see, I'm kind of backing up here. What's going on is I'm down in Elrose country, Elrose, Canada, Elrose, Saskatchewan. Pretty much in this area, it's kind of like a ravine. It's still very, very hilly. It's kind of like Drumhiller, but not so many cool dinosaurs. No. Instead, we got the oil, right? Dinosaurs, oil, makes sense? No, not really. Anyway, so as you can see, what going on here is I'm having to wait for a guy to come up this hill because of it's a very skinny hill, narrow hill, very incline. Yesterday there was a truck stuck halfway up the hill. He slid backwards into the ditch. Even this guy actually fell off the road, went right through the ditch, and lucky enough that he knew what he was doing. Otherwise he would have been planted or even flipped over pretty much. So making my decline here. And so this is actually the pasture area where a lot more rules follow by. No spills, no messes, no speeding, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you take care of the environment. Not even allowed peeing out here. So now we're making our decline. You can kind of see out in the background off to the distance here that I'm actually up very high. It doesn't look like it, but I'm actually up one of the highest points in Elrose area. And as you can see, I'm trying to go over these Texas gates. They make it actually quite dangerous when you're inclining or declining. As you can see, I'm bouncing around really bad in this area, and why that is just because of I don't really know, an idiot decided to grade it incorrectly, which causes major issues, and then you're slipping, and if you slip you lose traction and you start going back downhill, and we don't need an accident. So as you see, I'm starting to go down here. This is where actually the truck last night, because as you see it's nice and graded right now. The grader came here and scraped it right down so there's gravel, but this was just sheer ice, so we got to chain up and stuff. But one of my buddies, he slid down to the left here, and as you can see, he actually even needed to drain out all of his water. Don't worry, it's just fresh normal water from a dugout, so it ain't gonna hurt anything, but unfortunately he had to get drained out or he would have not gone anywhere. Again, like I was saying, it's a major decline. You can't really tell. Maybe you can, but as you see, I'm just going straight downhill, and I'm jaking it half the time going down here. But very beautiful country. I can't argue. During the summer, it's just gorgeous actually driving this, and it ain't bad unless it rains. Then it's another ballpark again, just like ice. So we're going to continually going down this hill here. I'm going to actually just speed it up so you guys can see a little bit more. Let's see. Actually, never mind. Don't need to speed it up. We'll just keep blabbing. So, of course, everybody knows what pump jacks are. If you don't, those are the guys to the right-hand side here. Pump jacks are the things that are pumping the oil out of the ground. They carry it over through a pipe over to the tank, or a pipeline off to a bigger tank, and that's pretty much your oil. And then they take it to a refinery, refine it, and turn it into your gasoline or your makeup or products or whatever, tires. So, but this whole area around this is light oil, so this is more of like your gasoline and diesel and all that type of stuff. Heavy oil is like more of your tires and stuff. If you guys got any questions, I'm pretty much your oil man knowledge. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 12, 13 years. Not exactly the same job, but oil work. I've actually even been born and raised in Fort McMurray, Alberta. Yeah, Fort McMurray, Alberta, which is a tar sand city, which is totally different than the drilling concept out here in Saskatchewan. But as you can see, I'm still declining. This is a beautiful truck that I drive. It's a Peterbilt, loaded to the 9. She's a gorgeous truck, 2015. I can't argue. She does her job and she gets me around everywhere. And it's a good looker, turns eyes everywhere, and you can't argue with that nice hood ornament on the front. You know it's a Pete with all that beautiful look to itself. What else could I tell you guys? I'm going to show you also a clip of coming up one of the hills here, so then at least you guys get a concept of the same thing of what this is going up and downhill. But this is what I do all day long, and I crush 15 hours a day easily, if not maybe sometimes more, but we won't say that. So like in the oil field, you're allowed about 15 hours a day. Think about that. You work your 9 to 5 job, 8 hours a day. You're maybe hitting 40 hours a week. Think of me. I work, my schedule is I work every day. I do not have a day off, and I work 15 hours a day. Don't get me wrong. Does it happen that way all the time? No. Sometimes the oil patch, it's either that it's a feast or famine deal. So either you're feasting or you're in famine zone. So when things are good, put your money away. When things are bad, then time to pull the money out of the bank and go broke. But as you see, when you crank those hours, 15, 30, another 15. So 3 days, I got 45 hours of what you do in 5 days. And now we keep adding up, and I'll work through the weekend, and I work and I work. That's why I have a little bit of issues trying to get these videos out half the time, but I thought I'd share this because I quite enjoy doing the trucking, and it's actually quite fun. It gets exhilarating because sometimes there's good days and bad days for trucking. Like I said yesterday, this was all sheer ice, and you get trucks like this that are coming up the hill or going down the hill. You're panicking, there's enough room. Like if I would have caught this guy a couple minutes prior, we could have been in a bad pinch. But lucky enough, we seen each other at the right point, and things are good because this is a major decline, very narrow. And you might think, okay, my pickup truck will get around this, not a problem. But I'm hauling a trailer behind me, which is a long trailer that's full of fluid. And as you're going around those corners, your trailer's dragging towards the ditch, so there's no room for another semi to kind of get by. But one way or another, we figure it out and we get her done. So this is the bottom of the hill area here. I'm going to start showing you guys the incline now. Hey guys, so I thought I'd show you guys this clip here. As you see, I'm going to about turn right here, but right here, this is where my buddy yesterday, he slid off the road. If you look just straight down right in front of me right now, he kept going straight right there and down into the field. And if he would have cut it like how I was a little bit and tried to get going on a right-hand turn, he would have flipped his unit right over. But as you can see, they throw some new gravel there. No issues, no truck rollover. There's his tracks coming back out of the field. So he was counting his lucky stars yesterday, and let's just say he drove down through that ditch, rode her out, drove around the field, came back out, and never even heard a single thing on his truck. So lucky enough, sometimes we got our lucky stars out there. It's amazing sometimes what these trucks can handle. So we'll just speed up here and get a little bit more to the exciting point. Alright, now we're at the bottom of the hill again here. We're just about to make a left-hand turn and time to climb. So at this point, yesterday I was having to lock up. Today I wasn't having to lock up. As long as I was gearing it right, I was pretty good. Didn't have to worry about it. It all makes a huge difference when that grader gets on here and grades it, or if it snows and then it just turns into ice. And as you see again, like the road's just not big enough for 2 vehicles. This guy's literally eating the ditch with his truck and has a grumpy face at me like, what the hell? Hey, I'm sorry, I'm a loaded truck. If I go to that ditch, I'm stuck for good. He ain't pulling me out. But if he's stuck, I'll yank him out, not a problem. So again, this is a really bad spot. You're cranking on it. I'm actually going quite fast to be able to make it around this corner because I got to climb it right away. And boom, there's a semi. Oh no, not enough room again. Look, he's making for the ditch. Everybody stays out of my way. And back up the hill we go here. So like it just constantly incline. It just never stops. Like these.
Just meeting everybody on this damn fucking road.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a little frustrated there. It's just, dear God, it's like, come on, really, guys? Like, like for us as truckers here, we're able to radio each other and tell each other that guy, he's not on my radio frequency, so I can't tell him that I was coming up the hill or down the hill. There is some spots where it is wide enough for us to build a meet, and that's okay. But then there's other spots where it's totally blind and you don't see the guy coming up, and that's where it can be dangerous. Because then we both be planted or slid into each other, one or the other. You know that good old issue. So, pretty basic, pretty simple. I don't know if you guys drove truck. This is an 18-speed semi. I got the Packard, so that's a Cummins. And, oh yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, I like to have fun at my job. Like, if you're not having fun, you're at the wrong job. Really, that's just as simple as it goes. It's always about life, about getting out there and having fun. So here's a water hauler for the rig that's at the top of the hill. He's just like a little tandem unit. Usually they've, 10, 15 cubes. That's all they haul. And they just run back and forth for fresh water to the rig. So then the rig has water for the drilling mud. And Texas gates, if you guys are wondering what's Texas gates, if nobody knows what that is, what those are is that if there's cattle out in the pasture here, that they can't get out of that pasture areas. The cattle gate is opened up little poles on there, so then the cattle aren't going to try walking across because they know they're going to pretty much break their leg or cause issues, so they stay away from pretty much Texas gates. And that's why they make Texas gates. It's a lot easier than opening a gate and closing it, and that's why they design it like that. So it's a good thing, bad thing. They're quite rough, quite bumpy, and they have chances of slippery and sliding, but at the same time it's a lot nicer than coming to a stop and opening up a gate. Really, I'd hate to have to be the regular trucker that actually has to come and grab these wells. Like for myself, with a frac, you can see my tanks up there, is that I fill up those tanks, the frac unit comes, they do the fracking, and then after that they yank those tanks, done, we're off to a new location every single time. So I could be all over the country, not always in the same spot, hauling out of the same tanks. Unlike this trucker that comes to this location, he's going to have to keep hauling out of this location all through the year, continuously. So it don't matter what weather condition each day is, he's going to have to learn what the elements are to be able to haul up and down this road all the time. So that means lots of times you're probably going to be putting on chains just to get in and out of there, or getting a tractor or grader to haul them up. This is actually quite a fun road, in my own personal opinion. Some people don't see it as fun because they're worried, they're scared, but I love challenges. It makes it more exhilarating, makes it more fun, and makes the day go by faster, right? Yeah, exactly. But just beautiful country around here. It's quite neat. It's kind of, like I said, it's like Drumheller, but with grass all over it, or the natural prairies, so you can't really see it. But I wouldn't doubt if you ripped off all the natural prairies, it would look no different than Drum. Like, it's quite neat. You could tell this whole entire area of Saskatchewan, in the Kindersley area where the oil patch is quite well, you could tell it was all underwater or very shallow water, because there's a lot of salt, there's oil, there's gas, there's just a lot of fermentation that you could tell that was from the ground prior. Like, as we all know, any oil is just from concept of fermentation of like anything. Like, you can get oil out of canola. So like, you take a lot of grass, you take a lot of weeds, you take a lot of natural growth. People think it's always dinosaurs. No, it's not just dinosaurs. It's just the fact of growth, deterioration. It seeps down through the soils and keeps going down and down to the point where it can't go anymore. That's why they have shale quite often around this area, which causes it to be quite good with the light oil. And oh, look at this guy here. He's backing up because he knows there's not enough room. He's trying to crank back. He's like, oh no, he's gonna run over me. No, it's just not. It's quite steep in this spot, so he knows to back up, get out of my way. It's a Texas gate. I can slip, pretty much be stuck, and he ain't getting by me. Or I can slide right into him. One or other. But smart guy for backing up, getting out of my way. Thank you very much there, dude. Oh, and you can see off in the little distance, there's another truck. Like, there's a lot of traffic having get up and down the hill, especially when it's quite slippery out. As you see, I'm almost at the location here. There's my buddy up there by the tanks. You can see off to the left hand side there's 4 tanks here. That's what we're filling here today. And so it's about 6 loads of what I do a day into one of those tanks. So that's like 4 times 6 is 24. So we got 24 loads to go. And as you see, I'm trying to make a very sharp hairpin turn, and then I can't. I'm not making it. So I got to go all the way around. Then I'll make it to the tanks. Alrighty guys, well thanks to you for watching. This has been StunnedGopher out at his workplace. He's a trucker. Yes, I haul water. Dun dun dun, nothing but an 18 speed guys. Alright, peace.